Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we learn about how to design a shaft, and we covered or we solved two design problems based on the design of shaft. Now in this video, I am going to discuss about key. Key is a very important and very small machine element in the elements of machine design. Now let us see what is meant by key. So what is key? Key is a machine element. Key is a machine element. Key is a machine element which is used which is used which is used to connect which is used to connect the transmission shaft which is used to connect the transmission shaft to rotating machine elements to rotating machine elements to rotating machine elements like pulleys gears sprockets flywheels etc. So the key is a machine element which is used to connect the transmission shaft to rotating machine elements like pulleys, gears, sprockets, flywheels, or couplings are there. So a keyed joint consisting of keyed joint consisting of shaft then hub and key. So it consists of shaft, hub and key. So shaft is one of the machining element. Hub, the hub is a part of pulley, gear, sprockets or flywheel, and key is a one of the machining element. So the key joint consists of three machine elements, that is shaft, hub and key. Now key is always inserted parallel to the axis of shaft. Key is always inserted parallel to the axis of shaft. Parallel. So keys are used as temporary fittings or temporary fastenings. So keys are used as temporary fastenings. And keys are subjected to crushing and shearing stress. Keys are subjected to crushing and shearing stress. So there are two types of stresses in case of key, that is crushing stress and shear stress. So let us see how the key looks like in this system, that is shaft, hub and key. So let us see. So here is so this is shaft, and this is key. It is parallel to axis of shaft. It is inserted parallel to axis of shaft, and it is half in shaft and half in hub. So this is hub of the gear or hub of the key or hub of the flywheel or hub of the sprockets or hub of the coupling. So this is hub. Now this is shaft. So this is shaft, this is hub, and this part is key. So from side it looks like this. So this is the side view. This is hub. This is shaft. This is shaft and this is key. It is half in hub and half in shaft. This is the side view. Now this is hub. This is hub. Now in 3D, key looks like this. So this is a key. It is one of the small machine element. So this is width of key, this is the height of key, and this is length of key. This is length of key. So key has 3 dimensions. This is width of key, this is height of key, and this is length of key. Key has only these 3 dimensions. So now let us see functions of key. The functions of key. What are the functions of key? So first function of key is to transmit the torque from the shaft to the hub, from the shaft to the hub of the mating element and vice versa. So the function of key is to transmit the torque from the shaft to the hub and vice versa, that is from hub to the shaft. This is the first function. Now the second function is to prevent relative motion, between relative rotational motion between the shaft and the hub. So key prevent the relative motion between the shaft and the hub, and it transmit torque from shaft to the hub or from hub to the shaft. So these two are the main functions of key. Now let us see what is meant by keyway. So what is keyway? The name indicates keyway is a slot. Or recess. Keyway is a slot or recess in a shaft and hub. Of the pulley to accommodate a key. So keyway is a slot or recess in shaft or hub to accommodate the pulley. So keyway is usually cut by vertical or horizontal milling cutter. Vertical keyway is usually cut by vertical or horizontal milling cutter. Also keyway results in shear concentration. Keyway results in stress concentration. So it results in stress concentration because of keyway the cross section of shaft suddenly changes. So due to that stress concentration occurs at the vicinity of keyway. So this is the drawback of keyway. And due to stress concentration or due to keyway the part becomes weak. This is the drawback of keyway. Now what are the materials for key? Materials used for key. materials for key. Materials for key. So we know that key is subjected to crushing stress and shear stress. So in order to withstand shear and crushing stresses, or shear and compressive stresses resulting from transmission of torque, plain carbon steel, plain carbon steel, plain carbon steel of grade, plain carbon steel of grade 45C8 or 50C8 is used. 50C8 is used. So in order to withstand shear and crushing stresses, plain carbon steel of grade 45C8 and 50C8 is used, or 50C8 is used. So this material is used. Now see friends, what are the types of keys? So there are many types of keys. So let us see one by one. So the first type of key is sunk key. Sunk key. What is meant by sunk key? So sunk key is a type of key in which half the thickness of the key fits into the keyway on the shaft, and the remaining half in the keyway of hub. So that key is called as sunk key. So what is sunk key? Sunk key is a type of key in which half the thickness of the key fits into the keyway on the shaft and the remaining half in the keyway of hub. So that is called as sunk key. Now keyways are required both on the shaft as well as hub of the matting element. So this is the standard form of key. This is the standard form of key. So this is the standard form of key, and the relative motion between the shaft and the hub is prevented by shear resistance of key. So relative motion is prevented by shear resistance of key. Therefore sunk key is suitable for heavy duty applications. So it is suitable for heavy duty applications. It is used in heavy duty applications. So how the sunk key look like? Let us see. So if this is a hub, this is a shaft. Now the sunk key is half in the hub and half in the shaft. So keyway is required half in the hub and half in the shaft. So it is a standard form of key and it is suitable for heavy duty applications. Now in a sunk key there is no possibility of key to slip around the shaft, and the power is transmitted by shear resistance. So it is positive drive. If there is no slip in this type of key, so this is a positive drive. Therefore it is a positive drive because there is no slip in this type of key. So there are many types of sunk keys. Now in that one is a rectangular key. One is a rectangular key and another one is a square key. This classification is according to cross section of the key. So let us see one by one each type of sunk key. So see, there are two types of Sankhya keys. One is a rectangular key and second one is a square key. So let us see how rectangular key look like. So what is, first see what is a rectangular key. Rectangular key is a Sankhya key with rectangular cross section. Sankhya key with rectangular cross section. Sankhya key with rectangular cross section. That is called as rectangular key. And square key is a Sankhya key with square cross section. Sankhya key with square cross section. Square cross section. So in diagram, let us see. So if this is shaft, so this is a rectangular key. So this is the width of rectangular key and this is the height of rectangular key. And the cross section is B into H. And also on lateral side length is there. So in square key, how it looks like. So this is square key. Means width and height is same. B and H is the same in square key. It is not same in rectangular key. Now in design, so this key is used in machine tool applications. This key is used in machine tool applications. Machine tool applications, and this is used in industrial machinery. This is mostly used in industrial machinery. Now industrial practices take a dimensions of these rectangular and square key as so far square key B is equal to D by 4. So 1/4 of diameter of shaft, and H is equal to also D by 4 because this is square key, B and H is equal, and length is taken as 1.5 times diameter of shaft. Also in rectangular keys, B is taken as D by 4 and H is taken as D by 6 and L is taken as 1.5 times diameter of shaft. So here is B is the width of key. B is the width of key in mm, and H is the height of key in mm, height or thickness of key, height or thickness of key in mm, and D is the diameter of shaft in mm, diameter of shaft in mm, and L is the length of key in mm, length of key in mm. So these are the main two types of Sankhya key, that is rectangular key and square key. Now see, the Sankhya key is again classified into two types, that is parallel key and taper key. Now what is parallel key? So parallel key is uniform. Parallel key is uniform in width as well as height. So uniform in width as well as height. So parallel key is uniform in width as well as height throughout the length of the key. Throughout the length of the key. Length of the key. So that is called as parallel key. But taper key, in case of taper key, so it is taper key is uniform in width, but tapered in height. So taper key is uniform in width and tapered in height. So that key is called as taper key. Now in taper key, the standard taper is 1 in 32. Sorry, 1 in 100. 1 in 100. Means after 100 mm length, 1 mm height is decreased. After 100 mm length, 1 mm height is decreased. Then again for 100 mm, again 1 mm height is decreased. So this is the meaning of taper in 1 in 100. Now let us see how parallel key looks like. So if this is the uh, key, if this is key, so parallel key is uniform throughout its length. So width is also uniform, that is B is uniform. Height is also uniform throughout the length, throughout this length. So this is the parallel key. And in case of taper key, what is there? In case of taper key, so this is the, so see here is taper key. It looks like this. So it is uniform in width but tapered in height. So here height is h1 and here height is h2 and the length is L. So it is tapered on height. It is tapered on one side and from one side it is uniform. So the standard taper is 1 in 100. Now the bottom surface of the key is straight and the top surface is given a taper. Now why this taper is provided? So to ensure the tightness of joint. To ensure the tightness of joint by wedge action, this key fits inside the keyway. And it is due to taper, it is easy to dismantle the joint. So for that this taper is provided on the key. So see give head key. So give head key is also one of the type of sunk key. So what is give head key? To facilitate to facilitate to facilitate the removal of key. To facilitate the removal of key, give head is provided on one side of the key. Give head is provided on one side of key. Give head is provided on one side of key. Now how it looks like, let us see. So this is the give head key. If taper is provided, so I am showing here taper. So this is the give head. So this is the give head. This is the give head. Now in 3D also you can draw. In 3D it looks like this. This is the 3D view. In 3 dimension the give head key look like this. So this is the width of key, this is the height of key, and this is give head. So this give head is facilitate the removal of key. So you can easily by using this give head you can easily remove the key, easily insert the key in the keyway. So for that this give head is provided. See feather key. This is also one of the type of sunk key. So what is feather key? Feather key is a parallel key. Parallel key. So it is not tapered key. So it is parallel key which is fixed, either to the shaft or to the hub and permits and permits relative relative axial moment between them. So what is feeder key? Feeder key is a parallel key which is fixed either to the shaft or to the hub and permits relative axial movement between them. So if this is a shaft, so this is a shaft and this is the feeder key. This is the feeder key and it is fitted to the shaft by using this tap screws. So if these two are the tap screws. So by using these tap screws, this feeder key is fitted to shaft. Now this is hub. So this is hub. This is hub. Now in 3D, how the feeder key looks like. Let us see. This is feeder key and here holes for screw and so this is height h, and this is width b. So height is uniform, width is uniform, so it is parallel key. And in shaft also the slot is provided. In shaft, so this is the slot or keyway. So this is the keyway and this is key. So key is fitted in the shaft by using this tap screws. So this is feeder key. Now see the wood rub key. So this is also one of the type of sunk key. Now what is wood rub key? It is in the form of semicircular disc. It is in the form of semicircular disc of uniform thickness. So in the form of, it is in the form of semicircular disc of uniform thickness. So that is called as wood rub key. Now it is used in taper shafts. Now how wood rub key looks like, let us see. So this is wood rub key. And this is shaft. This is the axis of shaft. And this is wood rub key and this is keyway. Now this is hub. And the keyway is provided on hub for this increased part of this wood rub key. So this is wood rub key. Now in 3D it look like this. This is wood rub key. So this is the semicircular disc of uniform thickness which is used as key. Now friends, let us see next type of key, that is saddle key. Let us see what is meant by saddle key. So saddle key is a key which fits in the keyway of the hub only. So saddle key is a key which fits in the keyway of the hub only. Now there is no keyway on the shaft. There is no keyway on the shaft. So in saddle key, there is no keyway on the shaft. So there are two types of saddle keys. One is a hollow saddle key. One is a hollow saddle key. Hollow saddle key, and second one is a flat saddle key. Flat saddle key. Now, what is hollow saddle key? It has concave shape. It has concave. It has a concave surface. It has concave surface. It has concave surface at the bottom. At the bottom, it has concave surface at the bottom to match the circular surface of the shaft. To match the circular surface of the shaft means saddle key looks like this. So this is the saddle and this surface is concave to match the surface of shaft. So this is shaft, this is key, and this hub is there. So there is keyway in only hub. So this is saddle key. Now what is flat key? In a flat key, it has a flat surface. It has a flat surface at the bottom. Flat surface at the bottom, and uh, it fits on the flat surface machine on a shaft. Means if this is shaft, and this is flat surface machined on a shaft, and this is key. So this is flat saddle key, and this is hub. This is hub. So this is a hollow saddle key. This is a flat saddle key. So what is the difference between sunk key and saddle key? In sunk key, half of the portion is in the half portion of the key is in the keyway in the hub, and half in the keyway of shaft. So in saddle key, there is a keyway is only in the hub, not on the shaft. So this is the basic difference between sunk key and saddle key. Now the round key is one of the type of key. So what is a round key? A key with circular cross section. A key with circular cross section. A key with circular cross section is called as round key. Now how round key looks like? So this is shaft, and if this is a hub, this is a hub. Now this is a round key. So this is a round key. Now this is used for low power transmission. This is used for low power transmission, and it is very simple to machine. It is very simple to machine a keyway. After matting of two parts, you can drill a hole here and easily insert a key inside the keyway. So this is the main advantage of round key, and it is used in low power transmission applications. So these are the all are the types of keys. That is, main types are sunk key, second one is saddle key, third one is round key, and one is splined key or splined shaft is there. So in case of splined shaft, the key is integral with shaft. So there are 4 or 6 or 10 or 16 splines on the shaft. So that splined shaft is used in gear transmission system to shift a gear here and here. So that is called as splined shaft. So these all are the types of keys. Now see friends, design of key. So how to design a key? So there are two types of keys which are used, mostly used in engineering applications. That is square key and rectangular key. So for square key we know that for square key, for square key for square key by industrial practices, for square key b is equal to b is taken as d by 4, and height of square key is taken as d by 4, and length of square key is taken as 1.5 times diameter of shaft. So here b is the width of key, h is the height of key, l is the length of key, and d is the diameter of shaft. Now for rectangular key, for rectangular key, for rectangular key b is taken as d by 4, h is taken as d by 6, and length is 1.5 times diameter of shaft. Here b is a uh, width of rectangular key, h is the height of rectangular key, d is the diameter of rectangular key, and l is the length of rectangular key. Now this is simple design of square key. This is the simple design of square key, because key has only 3 dimensions, that is width. So if this is key has only 3 dimensions. So this is b, this is height h, and this is length l. So key has only 3 dimensions. So for these 3 dimensions, by using industrial practices, these are the empirical relations. So these 3 for square key, these 3 for rectangular key. Also square key can be selected from design data book. It can be selected from design data book, because for standard diameters, standard key dimensions are there. So for for example, for 6 mm diameter of shaft, the key dimensions are 2 into 2, that is 2 mm width, 2 mm height. For 8 mm diameter shaft, the key dimensions are 3 into 3. For 10 mm shaft, the key selected is 4 by 4. So for 12 mm diameter shaft, key selected is 5 by 5. Also for 30 mm, if there is 30 mm diameter of shaft, then the key selected is 10 into 8. That is 10 mm width and 8 mm height. For 50 mm shaft, key selected is 16 into 10. For 70 mm shaft, the key selected is 22 by 14. Now see friends, shear failure of key. So how we know that key is subjected to two types of stresses, that is shear stress and crushing stress. So let us see first shear failure of key. Now if this is a key, so this is a shaft and this is key, rectangular or square key. Now this is the height of key and this is width b, and this is key. Now this is torque T, and due to this torque, due to this load, torque is applied on the. So due to this torque, load P is applied on the key, and this is equal and opposite load P from hub. So let us take shear failure of key, that is tau is equal to P divided by shear area. P divided by shear area. Now we know that torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance, force into perpendicular distance of this force from center O, from center of shaft O. Now perpendicular distance. So what is the perpendicular distance? If this is the diameter of shaft, then the perpendicular distance is d by 2. D by 2. So this is E. Now this is a B and this is H. This is H. Now torque is a P into perpendicular distance. So P into perpendicular distance is d by 2. Now from this equation we can find out P. So tau is equal to P by shear area. So P is equal to tau into shear area. Now what is shear area? So due to the torque, this key fails at this section. Due to shear, key fails at this section. So this part of key will goes on this side due to shear, and this remaining part goes from shaft on this side. That means at this section shear failure of key will takes place, means at this cross section. So here failure area is this. So this is the failure area. So this area is a failure area, means B into length of key L. B into length of key L. So B into L is a shear area. So put this area here. So P is equal to tau into B into L. So put this value of P in equation 1. So torque is equal to P is tau BL into D by 2. So this 2 will goes on this side, and tau is equal to 2T divided by this dBL. dBL goes on denominator. So this is the shear stress in case of key. So this is the shear stress in key, and this is the shear failure of key. So tau becomes 2T divided by dBL. Now by using this equation, after designing key, that means after taking the values of B, H and L from empirical relation, you can check the design of key by using this formula. Means check where the design of key is safe or unsafe in shear by using this formula. So this formula is used for checking of design of key. Checking of design of key. Now see the crushing failure of key. So how key will fail in crushing. So if this is key, if this is shaft, and this is our key, and this is width of key, and this is height of key. Now this is key. So this is width of key B, this is height H, and this is length L. This is torque. So this is P, here is P. Now where the crushing will take place? Why crushing takes place? So this key and the shaft, in between this key and shaft there is no relative motion. So at this section crushing failure of key will take place. At this section crushing failure of key will take place. So that means at this section. So this is the crushing area. So what is this? H by 2, height by 2. So here crushing failure of key will takes place. Now we know that sigma C is equal to P divided by crushing area. So what is crushing area? crushing area is equal to this h by 2 into h by 2 into this length L. H by 2 into L. Now we know that torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance, that is d by 2. Perpendicular distance of this section from center of shaft. So that is d by 2. Now uh, uh, put now get the value of P from this equation. So sigma C is equal to P divided by crushing area. So P is equal to sigma C into crushing area is H by 2 into L. Now put this value in this equation. Put this value in equation 2. So torque is equal to P is sigma C into H by 2 into L into this D by 2. So 2 into 2, 4, and 4 will goes on this side, that is 4t. So sigma C is equal to 4t divided by this dHL. So dHL. So this is the formula for crushing failure of P. So by using this formula, you can check the whether where the design is safe or not in crushing. So this is used for checking of design of key. This is used for checking purpose. So after designing a key, you can check the design whether it is safe or not by using two formulas. That is the formula for shear stress tau is equal to 2t divided by dBl, and formula for crushing stress is 4t divided by dHL. Now friends, we know that the shear stress in case of key is tau is equal to 2t divided by dBl, and crushing stress sigma C is equal to 4t divided by dHL. So shear stress is 2t divided by dBl and crushing stress is 4t divided by dHL. Now let us assume square key. So for square key, for a square key, we know that width is equal to height. So let us take sigma C is equal to 4t divided by dHL. Now B is equal to H, that is this H is equal to B. So let us put B instead of H. So dBl. Now this sigma C is equal to I will take 2 into 2, 4, that is 2 into 2. So T divided by dBl. Now that is equal to 2 into 2T divided by dBl. So this is nothing but 2T divided by dBl. So that is tau. So sigma C is equal to 2 tau. So this is for square key. That is crushing stress is 2 times shear stress, or crushing stress is equal to 2 times shear stress for square key. So in many exams the question is asked, prove that crushing stress in square key is 2 times shear stress in square key. So this derivation is asked in many exams for 4 marks. So this is all about design of key. In this way key is designed. Now in previous videos I will not solve design problems based on design of key. I will take problems of design of key in design of couplings. So in coupling we will design three components, that is shaft, key and coupling. So in that the problems on design of key will covered in design of coupling itself. So thank you very much, and enjoy learning. Thank you.